Friday afternoon. Wow. The news we've been waiting for forever. Deadpool 3 is going to happen. And really no surprise, the news that is Sean Levy working with Ryan Reynolds this time around. The two have worked together now in back-to-back films, both of them successful. Well, the Adam Project's going to be successful this weekend. At the combination, and you go back to Free Guy, right, in August of last year, when theatrical was struggling. Everyone's like, is theatrical going to make it? Here comes Free Guy, out of nowhere. Little under 30 million opening weekend. It holds weekend after weekend after weekend. And we have a successful duo born with those two working together. Free Guy and now Adam Project. And we have the addition of Deadpool 3. And it just makes sense. You know, in life, when you work with somebody and you're familiar with them, you're comfortable with them, as Ryan Reynolds is obviously with Sean Levy, then you're going to have a relationship you can build on. And when you go to that next project, Deadpool 3, we've been waiting for it forever. I mean, when was Deadpool 2? Was that 2018? So we're looking at, what, 4 years now since Deadpool 2. And we know why it was delayed. Because we had the merger between Fox and Disney. And Disney's sitting here on this R-rated superhero, obviously part of the MCU, but they're like, we don't do R-rated movies. But under the Fox banner, or now 20th Century, you can still get away with that. I think one of the first questions that someone asked me on Twitter when I sent this out was, will it be R-rated? How is it not going to be R-rated? How do you make a Deadpool movie without F-bomb after F-bomb, after just horrific language, which is one of the reasons that film is it works so well, right? Is because of Ryan Reynolds' portrayal of Deadpool and the filthiness of it. They're not going to remove that. There's no way. Because under the 20th Century banner, you can still say, hey, it's not Disney. And you have your MCU thing, right? So you already have it in the umbrella. And I think that was one of the things they said when they were buying, when Disney was interested in Fox, 20th Century. They said, we want Deadpool. It just took longer to get to where we are here today with this news that we have it, obviously coming down the pike. It's going to take, by the time they announce it, right, I think the date's probably going to be 2024. By the time they get it all together, get the script where they want it, and then to start shooting, we're looking at an extended date in the future. I think the official word, I don't know if they put that out in the press release here. THR was the first one to report it. By the way, it's how we roll here. We don't just say, I was the first one to report it. No, THR, Hollywood Reporter, first reported it. And now they are, I don't see a date. Yeah, release date unclear. So, but here's the deal. You announce it now. Obviously, the script is being worked on, and then finally it'll be finalized, and they'll go through different various drafts of it. But once they finally get to that point where they're ready to shoot, and by the time they put the effects in and all that, it's going to be quite a long time before we actually get to this film. I'd say at least 2024. So at this point, you're waiting for the completion of the draft, and obviously to get all the pieces in play, get everyone's schedule on the same page. Obviously, there's multiple people here that have to come back, including Brolin as Cable. As you know, you got to get him in there. You've got to get Zazie Beetz back. You've got to get all these people there at the right time, and their schedules have to align to make this movie. Obviously, the money that you're dealing with here in a Deadpool 3 is significant, so they can probably say, hey, let's go ahead and do Deadpool 3, and whatever you're working on, let's put that off to the side, and we'll get to it when we get to it, because this is more important, and we're going to pay you like that. Great news here. We knew it was going to happen. It's finally going to happen. It will be R-rated. If it's not R-rated, it'll be the biggest shock of shocks, because, again, that's why this works. That's why this has worked for Deadpool. That was the novelty of it. It's really, okay, the R rating is a big deal, but really, truthfully, it's all about Ryan Reynolds. He was born to play Deadpool. Okay, we know that. That's his persona. It's perfect. It worked. Anybody else in this role, it's not going to have the same success as it did. And we're looking at Deadpool 3 now. So same thing with Robert Downey Jr., right? In Avengers and as Iron Man. We know that was a once-in-a-lifetime role for the perfect person. And he's that. Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. When you have these people that are iconic, the one person that's played them, not like Batman, we have Pattinson, obviously we have Keaton, we have, go on and on and on, right? Val Kilmer, remember him? We have all those people playing Batman, but when it comes to Iron Man and Deadpool and Wolverine, it's going to be hard to step into those shoes for anybody else, because the people that originated those characters on screen are so just perfect, right? They're just dialed in as those characters. So I would never want to step into the shoes of Iron Man. I never want to be, obviously, Wolverine, because you'd have to hit the gym crazy, go to the gym 24/7. I mean, no one looked better than Hugh Jackman when he was absolutely shredded as Wolverine. So you have all those things in play, but I think ultimately this was going to happen, no surprise. And again, the teaming of Levy and Reynolds makes sense. 2 movies in a row, they work well together. Sean Levy knows what he's doing when it comes to action films, and obviously Ryan Reynolds is familiar with how to make a Deadpool movie, so they can work together, collaborate, and create something special here for Deadpool 3. I'm sure they really want to make sure the script is right, because the script does matter. Hello, you can only do so much with the character. We've seen it now in 2 different iterations, right, of Deadpool 1 and 2, that when you have a 3, you better take it somewhere unique and different. I would say 2 is certainly not as good as 1. I don't think 2 is a bad film, but 1 is the best of the Deadpools. So now you're looking at the 3rd, get some people in there that are super talented at script writing. I think one of the writers of Bob's Burgers was reported to be writing this thing. So whoever it is, get them in there. They know the character and make it just as out there as it was in the first 2 editions that we had of Deadpool. As we look for this thing here in a couple years, more than likely 2024, because right now we're in March of 2022. It's going to take some time to shoot, obviously post-production, all that stuff. 2 years. My guess, sometime summer 2024. Might even roll into early 2025. That's one of the things. But again, Levy, Reynolds, they work together. Collaboration makes sense. Easy peasy. All right, guys, that's going to do it here. Really quick. That's how we roll here on the new YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We'll talk again very soon.